So if you're confused, I'm not Andrew. Andrew didn't just grow a beard. I'm Joel. I'm the residential sustainability manager at Mirvac. So we've got a few slides here, and it's probably changed a little bit because I got the call up, so I've got more of a developer's view than a construction business, but we tried to cover everything. So a bit of context, a little bit about Mirvac for people who don't know. So our purpose is to reimagine urban life. We're a property company, but we've got an integrated model. So we have developers, we own buildings, and we manage. So we've got everything together. And we're also diversified. So we're across residential projects, retail projects, office projects, and industrial. So it's a bit of context there from where we're coming from. We have a lot of knowledge under one roof. So, development team, we've got acquisition, development. We've got a whole level of designers. We've got a bunch of construction teams out on site. We build our own buildings as well. Not all of them, but we build some. Sales, marketing, leasing, and then we also operate some of our buildings as well. Back in 2013 was the first launch of our sustainability strategy called This Changes Everything. We refreshed this in 2018. It's got a bit more of a narrower view than we did initially in 2013. And on this slide here is our 6 themes that we focus on now. So we've got environmental themes, social themes, and governance themes, a little bit on the ESG that the investors talk about a lot. Where circular economy fits in is into our natural resources theme, and we've got targets for zero waste by 2030. So that's where I see circular economy fitting into how we think about it in terms of sustainability at Mirvac. A little bit on our current status. So this is from the construction business, but I think we do a pretty good job of sorting out all the waste on site on all our construction sites. We're actually tracking this financial year above 96% recycling, which is very good. That last 4% is really hard to get. There's some just tricky things in there. So we're pulling out pretty good streams of waste or materials, however you want to talk about it. In terms of circular economy, we're probably at the start of our journey. We've done a few small projects, but we're still early on thinking at Mirvac, and we're going to need help moving forward on that from everyone in the industry. Also, the current conversation, we're hearing circular economy get spoken about a lot. So, there's New South Wales government, there's South Australia government. I just got a call this week from the Victorian government, and they're writing a policy on it. So there's a lot of different conversations coming from it. So from a developer's point of view, we're probably not exactly landed on exactly what it is, as Jonas was mentioning at the start, and what we can do to sort of work towards it. What I see, and this is probably more of a developer's hat on here as the opportunities for circular economy, is for our construction business, of course. We build stuff, so like I mentioned before, we can take those waste streams and use them for something good. We need help doing that. We need people that can take our waste and turn it into nice products. And it's the same for our operations in our retail centres and office buildings. Second opportunity is embedding circular economy infrastructure in our master plan communities. So just last week, maybe over the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 projects, which are master plan community projects, come and ask me about circular economy and what we can do in terms of setting up infrastructure for that community and how they can participate in there. And I don't know the exact answer yet, and so we're looking into those details. Other opportunities for circular economy is through our design and procurement especially. So if these products are out there and we have enough information out there, then we can procure them and then link the cycle. So you can connect number 1 to number 3, and then that's quite circular. A few of the challenges we see, sometimes there's a bit of a lack of information, lack of data in the industry about certain things, or it's still a bit confusing because there's lots of conversations. In terms of delivering, especially in residential, delivering products, like is the overall customer going to accept a recycled product as much as they would a brand new one? Is that acceptance there? We see that could be a barrier, and if it's a barrier to sales, it's a barrier to getting it on the job. generally, the recycled products are quite often more expensive for whatever reason, so that's also a bit of a challenge. So cost always comes into it. So if it's, not sure why, but if we can get those prices down, then that's definitely something that we can include more. What are some of the drivers we see? So potential drivers, these are just ideas we're throwing up there. So rating tools, we use them on a lot of our projects. They do help drive stuff, especially in the office space. All our buildings are Green Star rated or whatever rating, not so much in the residential space, but that's one way you get circular economy indicators and credits into these tools, and then as developers and designers that are going for those ratings, we'll most probably put them in the projects. Other drivers could be sort of different thinking where you can treat buildings as material banks. So if everything's designed for disassembly, at the end of life, you can take all those products and reuse them on the next job. And then also designing with BIM models potentially can make procurements super fast in the future and make it a lot easier to procure recycled products and link into the circular economy. So when you've got these building information models built, then you know all the quantities and all the different materials that need to go in, and then if there's other recycled or circular economy products that can substitute in, it makes it a lot easier. So that could be a driver in the future, making that process a lot easier. Just to finish, so this is just a little example of a closed loop circular economy example at Mirvac. So this is a shopping centre in Queensland. So there's 31 businesses that we capture their organics, use a pulp master, it goes to a landscape supplies company, sits there for a while, then it goes into the strawberry farm. The strawberries are growing and they get sold back in the centre. So it's actually a proper closed loop. So I thought that was kind of a nice little example to show. And there's a few other small examples in Mirvac as well that I'm happy to talk about later.